your son don't love you. And nigga, just for talking about my mama, I would slap the out that nigga just cause he share the same blood as you, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Man, at the end of the day, I don't play by my mama. At the end, I don't play by my mama.
King Harris, the son of T.I. and Tiny Harris, is a free man for now after bonding out of the Gwinnett County Jail following his arrest Sunday on speeding and drug charges.
Good Day's Caitlin Pratt is live outside the facility and joins us now with the latest on this. Caitlin.
Good morning to you both, and more so than the charges in this particular case, it was what the 21-year-old was wearing at the time of his arrest that is gaining a whole lot of attention.
This wasn't just another celebrity arrest. This was chaos, irony, and controversy colliding in one unbelievable moment that the internet couldn't ignore. Picture this. A 21-year-old driving a futuristic Cybertruck through the streets at 1 in the morning. Police lights flashing behind him. Speeds climbing higher and higher. And when officers finally catch up, they find something even more shocking. The driver is dressed head to toe in a bright yellow Pikachu onesie. But that's only the beginning. Because sitting on the dashboard, clearly visible, is a firearm. Officers issue commands. Step out of the vehicle. But instead of complying, he hesitates. He refuses. Not once, but multiple times. And then, in the middle of this tense standoff, he does something no one expected. He pulls out his phone and posts to Instagram. They not catching this Pikachu tonight. Except they already did. Now imagine this exact moment landing right in the middle of one of the most—
Police catching the Pikachu. Rapper King Harris, the son of T.I. and Tiny Harris, arrested early Sunday morning in Gwinnett County following a traffic stop. Gwinnett County jail records showing the 21-year-old is charged with speeding, obstruction of a police officer, and drug possession. Harris's choice of clothing, a Pikachu onesie, drawing significant attention. He documented the
ruthless feuds in hip-hop. A feud involving a man who has built an entire legacy off turning moments like this into viral ammunition. That man is 50 Cent. Timing is everything. And for King Harris, the timing couldn't have been worse. Just weeks after stepping into a public war, calling out 50 Cent and escalating things to a deeply personal level, he hands him the perfect weapon. Reality. Because when the internet saw Pikachu getting arrested, they didn't just see a traffic stop. They saw a punchline. And for 50 Cent, this wasn't just another moment. This was the kind of material he never wastes.
The rapper T.I., you know his wife Tiny, well, their son King Harris was arrested in a Pikachu onesie, right? We talked about that yesterday. But now we're getting some police body camera footage that shows T.I. himself interacting with the officers at the time of King's arrest. So you're taking a look at King's mugshot here. Yes, that is.
Even if I get kicked out of the hip-hop scene, I'll still make a documentary about T.I. Who the hell do you think you are, T.I.? And you got the nerve to post a birthday video for your mom to mock me for not having one? You think you're worthy? You not only cheated during your marriage, but you and your wife Tiny also assaulted more than a dozen young girls, from an air to a 17-year-old intern. How many lives have you ruined? And that ill bastard son of yours, King, a 21-year-old loser when he couldn't win an argument, he went and posted a photo of my 13-year-old.
It all unfolded in the early hours of April 13, 2026, in Gwinnett County, Georgia. The roads were quiet, almost empty, the kind of late-night stillness where nothing unusual is expected to happen. But that calm was shattered when a camo-wrapped Tesla Cybertruck—
is the yellow from the Pikachu onesie. He said that he was overseas in Japan. You know how they like to go-kart racing and all of the fun different costumes. That's exactly what he was doing. He said he had just made it back in town, and then he ended up getting arrested. So let's get into more of the nitty-gritty here. It happened Sunday morning.
Was spotted speeding through a 45-mile-per-hour zone at dangerous speeds. Behind the wheel was King Harris, the son of hip-hop stars T.I. and Tiny Harris. According to police, officers had to push their vehicles close to 80 miles per hour just to catch up with him. Even then, the Cybertruck continued drifting between lanes, failing to signal, and maintaining speeds far above the legal limit. What started as a routine traffic violation quickly turned into a high-risk situation. When officers finally managed to pull him over, they immediately noticed something alarming. A handgun was sitting on the dashboard, within arm's reach of the driver. That single detail changed everything. Officers instructed King Harris to step out of the vehicle. In situations involving visible weapons, compliance is critical. But instead of following commands, he delayed. Then he refused. Multiple times. He claimed he didn't realize how fast he was going. Said he was just heading out to get food. But those explanations did little to calm the situation. Because from the officer's perspective, this was no longer about speeding. This was about safety. And every second of hesitation only increased the tension. What could have been a simple ticket had now escalated into something far more serious, setting the stage for a moment that would soon explode across the internet.
Do you feel like 50 Cent went too far?
I mean, I feel like you should have kept the beef with the man you was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Why is you bringing his woman into it? You should be dealing with the man. This y'all beef, right? I ain't got nothing to do with this.
Are you enjoying seeing your sons step up to the moment?
I don't enjoy it. I do not. Simply because I've spent so much time trying to get this little nigga off the ledge.
Talking about King?
Yes. And now he has justifiable means to undo all of the teachings that I've been teaching.
As officers stood outside the vehicle, carefully assessing the situation, King Harris made a decision that would change everything about how this incident was perceived. Instead of focusing on resolving the situation, he reached for his phone. Wearing a full-body Pikachu onesie, he snapped a photo and posted it to Instagram in real time. The caption was almost mocking. "They not catching this Pikachu tonight." But the reality unfolding outside his window told a very different story. This single post transformed the moment instantly. What had been a serious law enforcement encounter suddenly became a viral spectacle. Within minutes, screenshots began spreading across social media. The image of a grown man in a cartoon costume being pulled over by police was too absurd for the internet to ignore. Memes started forming almost immediately. Reactions poured in. Some people laughed. Others were confused. But beneath the humor was some. Not willingly. It took a phone call to his lawyer before he finally complied. By that point, the situation had already escalated beyond control. He was placed in handcuffs and transported to Gwinnett County Jail. And what officers discovered during the booking process would take this story from viral moment to serious legal trouble. Because while the internet focused on the costume, the real consequences were just beginning to unfold behind the scenes. And those consequences would prove to be far more serious than anyone initially realized.
T.I. explained himself. They only responded because, hit dogs holler. Now, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. T.I., T.I.'s son, they supposed to think that that's beauty, but I think deep down inside, T.I., he know what it is.
50 Cent music ain't terrible. It ain't bad. He got some great music. But the thing is, he can't compete.
Right.
This ain't the way you can compete, because it's like you're gonna have to drop 3 dishes to even catch up. And you gotta drop them in 3 different forms. You gotta drop one being lyrical, you gotta drop one being sentimental, and you gotta drop one being very disrespectful.
I think the best thing for 50 to do is not drop anything, just to bow out gracefully.
Yeah, just say, bro, y'all got it.
Yes, officers discovered that King Harris was in possession of oxycodone, a Schedule II controlled substance. That discovery instantly raised the stakes. In the state of Georgia, possession of such substances without a prescription is considered a felony. And unlike a traffic violation, a felony charge carries long-term consequences that can impact a person's future in serious ways. Now the situation wasn't just about speeding or refusing to comply with officers. It had become something much bigger. Add to that the presence of a firearm within reach during the traffic stop, and the overall picture became even more concerning. Law enforcement treats these combinations seriously, especially when there's a pattern of behavior involved. Because this wasn't an isolated incident. Reports indicate that King Harris had previous encounters with law enforcement, including past traffic violations and missed court appearances. Each incident added another layer to an already growing narrative. But what shocked many people wasn't just the charges. It was his reaction afterward. After being released on bond, instead of laying low or addressing the seriousness of the situation, he returned to social media. Still wearing the Pikachu onesie, he posted videos celebrating his release, turning the entire arrest into a joke. For some, it was entertaining. For others, it raised serious concerns about judgment and maturity. Because when someone treats a felony charge like content, it forces people to ask a difficult question. Do they truly understand?
Traffic stop on Instagram with the selfie. According to TMZ, officers say Harris was driving 60 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. And when they pulled him over, they say they spotted a firearm. Harris reportedly refused to get out of the car. Police say they then found a THC.
But beyond the memes, the headlines, and the viral moments, there's a bigger question that still remains unanswered. What happens next? Is this just another controversial moment that fades away as the internet moves on to the next story? Or is this a turning point? A moment that forces real change? Because the reality is, situations like this don't exist in isolation. They build over time. Patterns form. Decisions stack on top. Stakes are higher than ever. A felony charge is not something that disappears overnight. It carries weight, legally and publicly. And for his family, this is more than just bad press. It's personal. It's serious. At the same time, the feud with 50 Cent is far from over. If anything, this situation has added fuel to an already burning fire. And if history has shown us anything, it's that 50 Cent rarely lets moments like this go to waste. So now the spotlight is brighter than ever. Every move, every decision, every response will be watched closely. And that's what makes this story so compelling. It's not just about what happened. It's about what happens next. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think King Harris is being misunderstood, or is this a wake-up call he needs to take seriously? And did 50 Cent just win this round without even trying? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more deep, cinematic breakdowns like this, make sure you like, subscribe, and stay tuned.